welcome to Amy Toft Yoga. This is a new series for the YouTube channel, a 30-minute version of this week's vinyasa. Maybe you'd like to do some yoga, but you don't have a whole hour. So we're going to try a streamlined version of this week's flow. So let's begin down on our mats and on our backs. Your knees could be bent. You could have your legs out straight. Just going to take a few breaths. Let our minds come onto the mat with our body. This is a gift you're giving yourself. Taking time for a little self-care in this busy world. I'm just going to sit up so you can hear me, but you stay down on your back. Just keep breathing, beginning the Ujjayi pranayama, in through the nose, out through the nose, constricting the throat just the smallest bit. Just noticing that we can hear our breath. That's so good. That's what we want to keep going throughout this practice. And I do have a theme for today's class. It is You Know You. And it goes with the chant we'll do at the end. And just pay attention to that all through practice. You know you. You know what is good for you to do, what doesn't feel right in your body. Pay attention. And just follow that. And of course, that's good for your whole life too. Following and choosing what's right for you. It doesn't have to be what's right for anybody else. So let's get started. You're still on your back. And we're going to just do a couple of cat and cows. So flattening the lower part of the back down into the mat. And then just relaxing it, letting that natural curve of the spine come back. Flattening, pressing the lower back in, tipping the pelvis up, and relaxing. And just do a couple more of these on your own breath. Flattening and relaxing. And maybe one more. Good. And then we're going to remember that flattening, tipping the pelvis up feeling as we move into our next thing. We're going to start with a little ab work. So we'll bring our knees into our chest and flex our feet so hard. We're sticking out the balls of our feet like a Barbie, and our toes are pulled back toward us. Flex, 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 flex. And as we do that, we're going to tip our pelvis up a little bit so that our lower back is flat on the mat. Hands come behind our head. We'll lift our head and shoulders, point our elbows straight up, and we're just going to do a few little yogi bicycles. Keeping those feet so flexed, that makes our legs work, our core work, pulling our belly in, tipping the pelvis up, elbows heading up, chest and head up. So many things to think about as we just move our feet slowly or as quickly as we want to. We can go higher, we can go lower, and let's just do two more on each side. And then we'll squeeze our knees into our chest. Let our feet come down and press up into bridge, lifting the hips high, pressing through the feet and the legs, letting the shoulders be flat on the mat. Maybe we just let our arms come out like Shavasana arms. Take a breath. One more. Lift up the toes. Arms can come up over the head. And we'll engage the core and just curl the backbone down. Hands come down, toes come down. And again, tipping the back flat on the mat. We'll pick up our feet, flexing them so hard like a Barbie, sticking out the balls of our feet, hold behind our head, elbows come up, upper body comes up, and this time we're just going to cross our elbows toward our knees. And if we want to, we could stretch our legs out as well. If you want to stay here, also good. Just a little curl. You can see that my elbows are not really touching my knees. Stretching out the opposite leg. That feels okay. And then we'll just curl everything in, squeeze our knees, maybe roll from side to side a little bit. And then sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't for me. We're just gonna rock up and maybe we can balance in boat. So we can hold behind the knees, lift our shins high. We can hold the tops of the knees, sit up tall. We could even have our toes down on the mat balancing. That's good too. Or we could stretch our hands out, sitting up tall. Just a quick little boat. Then squeeze the knees in. Let the feet come on down. We can roll over our knees, or we can just come to hands and knees any way that feels good to us. Spreading our hands wide, we'll cat and cow again, just like we did at the beginning, shining our heart forward, tipping the tailbone up, but this time we're on hands and knees. Curling the tailbone under, looking down, forward. Just do your breath, your movement. And then when we feel even, we'll just come back to a level tabletop, curl our toes under, wait. Bring our forearms down, take hold of our hands. Now curl our toes under. I'm gonna press up into dolphin. Right here, we'll just let our head hang down. We could walk our feet a little closer or not. And if you'd like to swim your dolphin, working the obliques, we'll just pull our head forward over our hands. This is also good for the triceps. If you don't like this, come on down to child's pose or hold regular dolphin. And then let's just come on back to dolphin. Pick up one leg, maybe lift it, maybe bend it, and come up on the other toe, kind of a one-legged scorpion pose. And then that leg can come down, pick up the other one, bend it, up high on the toe, scorpion, back down, let the knees come down, press back into a quick little child's pose. Your knees can be right where they are, or spread out to the edge of the mat. Just pressing our forehead down, breathing. Remembering that child's pose is a great place to come if you're not enjoying something else that's happening during yoga, if your body calls you to that. So just stay there as long as you like. And if you're ready to move on, come on up to hands and knees. Tucking the toes, we'll lift the hips high, downward facing dog. And we'll just breathe here for a few breaths. Moving any way that feels good to us. Bending our knees one at a time, looking under the arms. And then finding a little stillness, relaxing the shoulders. Looking between the thumbs, we'll just take some little baby steps, walking our feet up, letting our head hang down, forward fold, shifting our weight up into the balls of the feet, then pressing into the shins. We'll stretch our back so long as we gaze forward, engaging the core, taking a breath. That's half lift. And we'll let our head hang down again, forward fold. One more half lift. head down, and we'll just rise all the way up. Coming into mountain pose. So mountain, our toes could be touching, or our feet could be hip width apart. But we're lifting up through the arches of the feet, feeling that engage the calves, the kneecaps lift, the thighs engage. Bringing our shoulders up to our ears, and then letting them drift down our back. Palms could go forward or to the sides. Chin is level. So a lot of work in mountain pose. So we'll all come to mountain pose at the top of our mat. Inhale, arms go up, look at the thumbs, little back bend here if you like that, and if you do, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, hinging at the hips, forward fold down. Inhale, half lift, stretching forward. Exhale, heads comes down, hands come down, and we'll just step our feet back into plank pose. So shoulders right over our hands, press the mat away, shift forward, keeping the elbows close to the sides. We'll just lower all the way down to the mat. Tops of the feet come down. We're just gonna lift up our head, tiny little baby cobra, keeping our elbows close to our sides. And then looking down at the mat, curling the toes under, hips go high, downward facing dog, 4 breaths. Pedaling your feet here if that feels good, or finding stillness. Pressing into the knuckles of the hands and letting the shoulders come away from the ears. Looking between the thumbs, we can step our feet forward or walk. Head hangs down. Half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Uttanasana, forward fold. Fly out and rise. All the way up, hands touch. And back to mountain. Let's do it again. Inhale, the arms go up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Think about stepping back with your other foot this time. Stepping back into plank, coming forward, lowering down, raising up a little higher if that feels okay on your back, curling the toes under, hips high, down dog, 4 breaths. Looking between the thumbs, consider stepping forward with your other foot. Head down, half lift, forward fold, bend the knees all the way up. Mountain pose. So coming into our standing balance now. If you are loving the sun salutations, you could do a bunch more of those right there like we did in the full hour vinyasa. But for half an hour's sake, we're going to move on, shifting our weight into our right foot and lifting our left. This is a great place to stay, or if you'd like another variation, you can reach down and hold either the inside of the foot or the big toe. Stand up tall, possibly straighten the foot. Another variation, and then you could keep that foot straight and lift it all the way out, or like me, you could hold the knee and go out to the side. Losing your balance, finding your balance, all part of it. Just breathing, and then we'll bring the knee or the toe forward. Take a breath, and then set that down. So we find a drishti, something to stare at that isn't moving when we do this. We'll spread the toes of our left foot, lift up our right knee, a good place to stay, or another variation, holding the side of the foot, or the big toe, straightening the leg, opening it to the side, or holding the knee to the side. Other arm comes out to balance. bring the knee or the toe forward. Take a breath and just set that down. Okay, coming back to the top of the mat, we'll sink down into chair pose. So sticking the bum way out, pressing our weight into our heels. Chest is lifted, arms could be lifted as we gaze up. And then straightening the legs, straightening the hands, let the head come on down. We'll step on back or hop if you're a hopper. Chaturanga here. Skip it if you'd like to, and we'll meet in down dog. Right leg comes up high, step it forward, back foot pivots down, and we'll rise up to warrior one. Hips are facing forward, pressing the weight into the outside of the back foot. Arms are up, shoulders are relaxed. And then we'll open up to warrior two. Our legs and feet stay about the same, possibly shifting around on the back foot. Shoulders right over the hips, gazing forward. Then we'll bring our right arm down and our left arm up and over. Extended side angle, looking up under our arm. And coming on back up to warrior two. We'll gaze forward and just point both our toes forward. Then getting tall, possibly hands on the hips. Exhale, legs straight, coming on down to pyramid, Parsvottanasana. Letting our head hang down by our knee. Maybe our forehead touches our knee. Keeping a tiny little bend in that front knee so we don't hyperextend it. And gazing forward, pressing into the feet. We'll come on back up to warrior two. Windmill the arms down. And here, we'll keep our left hand down, spin our right arm up at the sky. Love this twisty stretch. Let's take 2 breaths here. Bring the right hand down, step the right foot back, go straight to down dog or vinyasa down, up to up dog, toes under, down dog. Just 2 breaths here. And then lift the left leg and we'll step it forward. Pivoting down on the back heel, rise up, warrior one on this side. Pressing into the outside of the back foot. Shoulders relaxed. Gazing up, maybe sinking a little lower. Keeping the legs and feet about the same, opening up, warrior two. Maybe pivot your back foot till it's more 90-degree angle. Gazing over the front fingers. Now our hips are open to the side. Left elbow comes down to the left thigh. Right arm comes up and over, and we gaze up under the arm. And we'll come back up to warrior two. Turning around, facing both our toes forward now. We're just going to get tall, then engage our core, fold forward, down over this left leg, letting our head hang down by the knee. Hands come down like little teepees here. Breathing. Keeping a tiny little bend in this front knee so we don't hyperextend it. And then looking at our front toes, we're just going to lift ourselves up, press back to warrior two, and then windmill our arms down. When we get here, We're going to turn both toes forward. Keep our right hand down. Spin the left arm up to the sky, gazing up. And one more breath. Bringing both hands down, stepping the left foot back, shifting forward, coming either into down dog or taking it down through your vinyasa, up dog, and then down dog, and we'll all breathe in down dog for 4 breaths. Looking between the thumbs, we'll step or hop our feet forward. Forward fold, half lift, forward fold, and then bending the knees, sticking the bum back out. We'll come back into chair. Take a breath, rise up, and back to mountain. Coming into a lateral stretch, crescent moon. So we're going to bring our toes together, our heels together, squeeze our legs tight as we stand up tall, engage the core, tuck the tailbone, arms come up over the head, palms touch, and we'll release our index fingers, bring our arms really tall, keeping our chin level, and we're just going to tip to the right as we push our hips to the left, looking under the left arm, breathing. Crescent moon. Keeping our shoulders and our hips level to the front. Maybe we can go down a tiny bit lower. And then we'll just come on up. Take a breath. Tip to the left as our hips go to the right. Maybe we can gaze up under our right arm. Shoulders and hips forward. Just breathing. And we'll come on back up. Bring our hands to our heart. We can just hula our hips around a little bit. After that, then we're just going to step our feet really wide. Coming into star pose. And then tipping forward, hinging at the hips. We'll come on down, keeping our weight in on the balls of our feet as we hold behind our heels, pull our head down a little lower. Wide-legged forward fold. And then if it feels better on your lower back, we could bend the knees and come up, or we could just engage the core and come on straight back up. Taking a breath. Coming down again. This time, we're just going to slide our hands down our legs, walk our hands forward until they're about under our shoulders. And here, I like to toe heel my feet even farther apart. This is a fine place to stay, or if you'd like to bring your forearms down to the mat, hold your hands. Your head can even go in your hands. And if headstand is in your practice, you could headstand here. Just breathing. And then making your way back up to the hands. We're going to toe heel our feet a little closer together, and then we're just going to walk our hands back and come into surfer pose. So, as you know, if I only taught poses I could do really well, I would only do down dog all day. So, surfer, we're just going to bend one knee. We'll make it our right. Walk our hands over there. Come up, lift up our other toe. And maybe this is our surfer. Maybe you can get your hips lower down. Maybe you can sink down. Hold your hands like this. And then we'll put our hands back down on the mat, walk them around, coming up to this foot, bringing up the back toes, Maybe hands come up, maybe bum goes way down low. Surfer. Coming back around, letting our head come down one more time, just letting it hang. And then maybe toe heeling a little closer together. We're going to come to Malasana. So we're going to bring our heels together, sink down into a yogi squat. So maybe your squat, your bum is higher up in the air, that's okay. Maybe your heels are up, that's also okay. Maybe you can press your hands together. And we'll just take a few breaths. And then we'll put our hands back down on the ground. Just press ourselves up. If you'd like to take a little fly-in crow here, you could do that on the way. Knees to the outside of the elbow, toes up, or one at a time, toe up. And whatever, when you're done flying, we'll just press on up. Now we're just going to put our left foot forward and our right foot back. And we're going to take our, I'm going to put our right foot forward and our left foot back. And we're going to turn our toes to the outside of the mat. So let our hands come down, turn the toes to the right, and we're going to walk our hands around till we're about halfway. So my toes are not like 90 degrees to the right, they're just kind of turned to the right. And I can really feel this stretch up my right IT band. Let my head just hang down. And then we're going to come on around, put our hands down, switch out our feet, left forward, right back. Both feet go to the left, walking the hands around, and letting our head hang down. The stretch is from my daughter Elizabeth. Isn't it so good? And then come on back around. We're just gonna make our way down. So if you want to crow one more time, and then shoot your feet on back. If you want to crow, and then come down to your knees. Whatever you want to do is great. We'll meet on our knees and do a little cat and cow. Inhaling and exhaling. And then maybe cross your feet behind, roll over, maybe don't, maybe just come to seated. Then we're going to make our way on down to our backs for Shavasana. Just breathing here, your knees could be bent, they could be straight, letting the feet drift out to the corners of the mat, tucking the shoulder blades. Just breathing. Shavasana is where the body's soaking up all the things that we did, and where we're remembering you know you. So you know what's right, you know what's best for your body, and what's best for you. While you're breathing in Shavasana, the chant today, a new one to me, and it is calling on our inner guru. So we all have something inside that tells us what to do and what's right for us, but that's not all. All the things we've learned, all the wise people that have taught us things, it goes back to that. It's calling on that, and it's also calling on their gurus and their gurus, all the way back to God or the universe. So there's a lot of power and a lot of knowledge inside of you. So that's what we're calling on, and that's what's going to help us to remember you know you. Om Namah
Gurudeva. Om Namo Gurude Namo. Gurude Namo. Gurudeva. Om Namo Gurude Namo. Gurude Namo. Gurudeva. Om Namo Gurude Namo. Gurude Namo. Gurudeva. Staying where you are as long as you like, or begin to deepen your breath, wiggle fingers and toes. Full body stretch might feel good, rolling the head from side to side, and slowly making your way to one side, taking a few breaths there. And when you're ready, coming to a comfortable seat, hands to the heart. Let's bow our heads, take a few breaths of gratitude. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.